right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, entities of the realm. I am your host, Guildspire, and welcome to Champions of the Fog. I'm joined here today by Temmie. Temmie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great and happy holidays. Of course, it's already have begun. We're kind of like in that mood where we're still stuffed and such.
Yes, indeed, but hopefully these survivors are hot on their feet as the singularity is here, hunting them on the suffocation pit, and looks like Detective Tapp already in chase, but no, looks like they're going to be going for Bill instead here, and Bill in a little bit of a less than advantageous position, but with a balanced landing, will get some distance, but singularity going into their cameras, looking to try and get a quick tag, but unsuccessful in doing so.
No, it doesn't look like, but it looks like they have already set up a couple of cameras in. I'm just trying to find a couple of the survivors right now, but it doesn't look like there haven't been any good luck with that.
Yeah, but they will get that slipstream applied to the Jake, and I don't think there's any health nearby. So it looks like this will be the first tag, which will reveal to us a sloppy butcher miss.
Yeah, that just delay of healing and such. Of course, that corrupt intervention is also up in play. He was trying to get that camera view to get into that position. Just
Yeah,
off a little bit.
Really good job in regards to that. Jake also doing a great job managing themselves at the window, knowing they were going to get tagged too. So Survivor making really great use of that in-game knowledge. Looks like Singularity though hot in pursuit. We are going to see drop here, getting the stun as well. Singularity unable to get the slipstream in time.
Yeah, and that's always like just that timing of it to just be able to get that destroyed. It just benefits on the killer, but utilizing that light to give that little advantage on it, but they're still playing around with that pallet itself. Now, will we know if he's gonna break that pallet or might he himself?
Yeah, that is the question of the day, but the survivors being very patient, but the Singularity getting the down in the end.
Yeah. First hook and you see how they play. It doesn't look like they're that close. Oh, yeah. We'll see what we do with that other one.
Yeah, that is very likely because that was a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, which has regressed the most progressed gen by 25%.
It's beneficial right now, just considering that there was only one gen that was being worked on during that chase.
Yeah, and looks like we do see Tapp now in chase, or at least somewhere nearby. We do see that EMP going off on the deactivating cameras, but missing one all the same. An unfortunate misplay there by the survivors.
Yeah, it's just hard to tell if you actually get all the ones that you wanted to in the area. But it looks like Adam's gonna get another one just in case.
Yeah, able to get rid of the camera, but ooh. That was a close one, and actually Singularity didn't even teleport, instead just going to get rid of the camera, find a new one right next to them, as we do see a second gen popping off here for these survivors.
Yeah, it looks like both of them are just trying to see which one they're just able in time to get that before going into second stage. Do we know if we're going straight back at? Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, only makes sense. They did miss that second stage on the Jake, so this will not be a clean tunnel, especially with the build going to be right behind. Singularity trying to swing around, but unable to get the hit. This time just going to take the hit on Bill in order to get them off of the body block. And looks like we're going to make our way back into this junction here. Singularity probably going to teleport right below, breaking the pallet.
Transfer on that end. Looks like they might be able to. Just get that cutting clean on that. That's it, but they will be able to do that transfer. Did they drop the pallet? No, they didn't.
No, they've been doing a really good job managing the resource. Probably the first one that we've seen where it has worked against their favor, trying to catch the Singularity at the very end of their overclock. But Jake will be put on the hook for the second time here, making them one stage away from being set on campfire via the entity.
Yeah, it's a good chase on it. Been able to hold off a little bit. Now, considering they got 2 gens done. Hopefully,
Yeah. Overall, Survivor's doing pretty well. We do see a slipstream applied to the Atom here. Bill gonna get the unhook in time, and no BT hit on the Jake, but Singularity gonna be in hot pursuit once again.
Yep, it looks like there's no winning on that Jake, unfortunately.
Good fall back there by the Jake, but not getting a lot of distance. Singularity trying to get the mind game, but will not need it as Jake will go down. And as there is no decisive strike, that is going to be Jake sent back to campfire via the end.
Yeah.
Considering 4 gens have been completed for their sacrifice, I definitely would agree with you there. That being said, Bill here, now the next one in Shades getting forced over to the Z-Wall. As we all know, the strongest pile in Dead by Daylight, as they will take it there over towards the main building. And looks like they're trying to take their time here, as we will see that bounce landing come into play once again, and an EMP as well to remove the slipstream from the Bill.
Yeah, that was a good teamwork play right there. Just being able to get that out. I was just hoping that they don't have any cameras, and if they do, they kind of were over. Never mind. The EMP kind of did help out a little bit.
Yeah, Singularity's been doing a good job, though, of managing the odds and ensuring that there is one always replacing one that has been deactivated. Bill once again put on the hook for the first time. Probably a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, regressing the most progressed gen by 25%, but we'll have to wait and see, as we did see a survivor on that generator. We'll have to see if they are able to complete that in time, as Adam here just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what he's going to be up to just with that sneaky play.
Yeah, I guess just trying to hang around waiting for the unhook, and looks like Singularity will be making the way over towards the main building, which will give that Adam enough time to get the unhook, but will need that tap here while injured. Is in a bit of a dire situation.
Yeah, it's just trying to be able to drop that talent and get a little bit of distance, and they're just still able to play that area. Yeah, there's still a talent right there.
And doing a pretty good job of trying to make sure they get the EMP on whatever cameras we place down. However, we do see that double back there from the Singularity. A bolt there by the Atom, and a bit of a misplay on both parts, resulting in a beneficial circumstance for the Singularity there at the very end.
Yeah, but that being said, I think it is going to benefit from another Pain Resonance, considering that they've only used, what, 2 stats?
Yep, this here will most likely be the 3rd stack of Pain Resonance incoming. That being said, we do not see Bill on gens, and we do see a survivor on this gen here. Just gonna flick back real quick so we get rid of that audio bug, but about 33% in on this gen so far. We'll have to wait and see if they are able to continue through it, or Singularity here will interrupt, as we do see Adam gonna be leaving just a little bit early.
He is, and sure enough, the chase music has begun, so it looks like they are going back to it. Oh, did they? Yeah.
I was sitting here holding my breath, waiting to see, like, did they get seen? And sure enough, they did. You have known something that we have not seen often is that spent oxygen exhausting the survivor immediately after getting tagged by the slipstream. So really interesting use of that add-on, getting some good value here, I would argue.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, have they utilized light with Jake earlier? I was like, they shouldn't have, but then I can see that exhaustion, so I was like, used a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, but Singularity going to be doing some more modeling here. Will take it back here at the out once again, applying that sloppy butcher, and looks like Adam here going to be trying to continue playing this main building, keeping the Singularity away from that 5th generator in the shack, which has now been completed, meaning that this is XA powered and a no-ed revealed to these survivors.
Yeah, once I saw that, Adam turned around and he saw that Adam just lit, and I was like, oh, I know what that is. Yep. The question is, are they willing to save? Just
with a no-ed in the mix, that Adam potentially seen the writing on the wall with that totem nearby. I think that is a safe bet there to take that 2 men out. Here you can see those 2 progressions on the Atom here, resulting in a K8 hooks in favor of Aeternum here, with Calamity Survivor Team exiting with 14 points. So, all right, and we are back with trial number 2 of set number 1. Calamity killing against Aeternum Survivor Team once again on the Suffocation Pit as the Singularity. And we kind of got a very similar spawn as trial number 1, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It's just starting off at where the mines are at for it. And I was just hoping that they have something set up real quickly, because they haven't been finding any survivors. Oh, you could actually see them on the distance.
Yeah,
going back as the Nia.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like they may have found the Nia and trying to go for a quick tag here. Nia doing a good job, though, of avoiding these cameras ever so diligently. But Singularity definitely have done a good job in spreading them around this side of the map, though. Singularity kind of losing where the Nia's gone.
Yeah, I mean, that takes some time and talent to do that, because with my knowledge with this, I always get tagged with those cameras no matter what.
Yeah, it's all about that line of sight, but so far, once again, no survivors in chase. Looks like Nancy trying to work on a gen, but getting pushed off of it, potentially by Singularity. Looks like we do see Ace now in chase. Let's take a look and see where they are at, and it looks like they are tagged both easy and but Singularity with that slip and overclock will be pushing them into the shack, it looks like.
Yeah. This Singularity actually knows how to switch over to camera real quickly for it. I'm just seeing if the killer shack's gonna be way worth it. Keep running him against it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, really clean both there by the Ace. This time though, going to be taking the hit here at the pallet, and once again revealing a good pull Sloppy Butcher.
Yeah, I mean that's just get that healing a little slower down for.
Yeah, absolutely. And looks like Ace will drop that pallet. However, not a lot in the way of research around here, and looks like they realize that too. Just going to be looping around the objects here by their team just a little bit of time as they do end up going down here.
Yeah, I think the pallet was already broken, and so
yeah, and while we don't know for certain, it is very likely that that hook there was in fact a Scourge hook Pain Residence. We also do see both survivors on gens tagged by the Singularity, and looks like we are going to see Tap here going to go for the on Ace, Nia on Gen, Nancy taking a hit off of theirs. And this is going to be very interesting as that gen was almost done, but Nancy just unable to complete it in time. Ooh.
Yeah, and that hit, just hoping that it was a fast roll into that, but it did not work out.
And unfortunately not. That being said, Nancy's going to be going on the hook for the first time as well. And if it is a Scourge, it will mean that gen she was working so diligently on will regress by 25%. Definitely a huge move for this killer, but quite an unfortunate circumstance for these survivors.
Yeah, and it was so close, because I think Adam was working on it, or Tap?
Yeah, I believe so.
Tap, yeah.
Looks like Singularity is going to be hanging out around this hook here, trying to get a progression if at all possible. We see Ace on a different gen, a bit further away. Tap trying to get an EMP, it seems like.
Yeah, just trying to get that, probably that help. They probably have to be a two-man to kind of help get that save, or at least work on that gen. Oh, it looks like they are working on that gen. Back again.
Yeah, it would seem that way. They will in fact get the gen completed underneath the nose of the Singularity. That being said, let's see if it will match as we will see that hit. Unable to get the unhook in time. We do see Tap coming in. 2 hits for the unhook, but no progression, it looks like.
Nice. I mean, that's always helpful. Not going into second phase with that help. That's 2 gens done, and hopefully they get to heal up, kind of a small reset, but with that sloppy.
You know, I kind of wish I was able to figure out who they were chasing a little bit earlier between the 3 injuries because I flipped on over and had absolutely no clue what the first shell was happening there.
That was good.
Looks like these survivors are going to be resetting a little bit here now, trying to work through that sloppy butcher if at all possible. Ace on a gen, about 25% through, but looks like they may have gotten interrupted, at the very least are moving off a little bit early. And yeah, sure enough, Singularity with the slipstream and Ace in hand will be able to at least get that off before taking another one immediately after. That's probably one of the most discouraging feelings when playing against Singularity, is just like doing an EMP and immediately getting tagged like seconds later.
The struggle for sure is there with that one. Because at that point you're just like, all that work gone to waste.
Oh yeah. But Ace here gonna be in the middle of an EMP when they see that tap. It seems like they're gonna go for that double unhook. And Singularity looking to go after the tap here. And Tap is going to hold that corner here at main, but going to be jumping into their camera, trying to tag them with that solution. Will successfully do so. The Singularity here doing a great job with their positioning of these cameras to ensure that they're able to get these taps.
Yep. That looks like Tap is going to be going down. Well, at that point, I kind of wish that the old Jet was over to get that 96%.
You know, that is fair. I'm sure the survivor is of a similar mind. That being said, Singularity probably a lot happier that it is not, and a bit more happy to see instead the new Singularity Resonance, which definitely getting a lot of value here. That is now 4 fresh hooks, which means probably Scourge Hook Pain Resonance has been all but used up, and you see survivor here being very daring, trying to heal right nearby the hook and Singularity. Unfortunately for them, Sloppy Butcher going to be regressing that heal quite significantly now.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just takes a couple of seconds for it to just go back to 0.
Yeah, that mangled stat spec definitely is not something to be trifled with. That being said, Ace once again just being very daring here, just hanging around this hook and trying to get an EMP, trying to get rid of a few of these cameras. Will successfully do so, meaning that it might be just a little bit safer to go for this unhook, but they only have a few seconds until they're going to have to be forced to go in.
Yeah, just second stage is unfortunately going right there, but it looks like they're just gonna focus on gems.
Yeah,
take that second stage.
And sure enough, there is in fact the second stage. Nan's gonna be sitting on gens, and Nia going to as well. Singularity just gonna be hanging out, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, at least they're getting the gems done. Crack it down to 1. They might get out with a 3K.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible here. Singularity needing to get a, I believe it is a 2K8 hook in order to tie the match and or to win a 2K9 hook, or I guess at that point it is just pretty much a 3K, all things they're looking for. But Surprise doing a great job coming in for the unhooks right in the nick of time. And looks like they are going to be making their way over towards the shack at this point, though Singularity trying to choose between the Nancy and the Nia. Looks like they will take the Nancy and will get down.
Well, the pickup animation is still throwing me off.
Yeah, definitely going to be a little bit tricky there. Looks like Cap, though, about to pop off their gen. 4th gen now completed, 1 gen away from P4. These survivors are able to power these aggregates. Ace now, though, in chase, and it's going to be close points-wise if they do take any more downs here, as Singularity spreading the pain and getting a lot of good fresh hooks, a lot of good 2 stages across these survivors. It looks like Ace will be joining the other 2, as we are going to be looking for just a count moment.
Nice, and it does slow down a bit again. Noah come into play.
Yeah, Noah once again seeing some usage here. The Singularity trying their best to get this kill here. Now this will be 2 points for the Singularity. If they get the hook, it's gonna be close though. Ace great position mechanic,
Wobbling unit
but
detected additional
not
work.
able to make it work. That being said, we're right now looking at 10 points for the survivors, 18 points for Singularity, which means that if in an instance the Singularity is able to get this stage, which will push them to 19, I believe that will result in a win here for Calamity and set number 1.
Ooh. That sounds very promising for that. It's just... Oh, they went straight to the pickup. Oh, okay, they did work on a door.
Yeah, so they open the door. Looks like they are trying to make their way out of the exit gate. They can't body block. They must know what that cleanse. It looks like it did.
Yeah. I think it was done right as, what do you call it? They got hooked.
Yeah, but
So everything was going on real quickly.
yeah, but looks like Ace now being chased by the Singularity, and no team left. Take a bag for the slip team. Ace out throw. There's the overclock and the pallet stun. He has the incoming for a potential body block here as well.
Yeah. Okay, there it is. Oh, there's that block. It wasn't good enough. Only the hit happened like literally on the other side of it.
Here's the tap with the body block and the MP, but Singularity getting past them. One for swing and the down. And it looks like Singularity going to be going for an even greedier play here. Looking like they're going to be going for the Nita here. They will get the overclock and the insta break. Mia trying to go for this pallet as soon as possible. Singularity whips the swing and the hit. And wanting to note, Mia's worth even more points. And looks like Tab here trying to distract the best of their ability, maybe giving this Mia a chance of escape, but taking a hit here means that things are looking quite grim.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get that pickup, but with sloppy butcher in place, that heal is going to take a little bit longer than you can't even tell if they're going to try to do the pickup even with that play right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, I think the survivors realize that it's kind of all or nothing. However, EGC is unforgiving, and the timer keeps ticking down, so survivors need to make a move and get out of dodge quick, lest they end up giving the Singularity a 4K, and I think that's exactly what they're doing here, though. Actually, no. Going for a heal. The survivors playing with fire, especially as timer is going to tick down even faster. The moment that the survivor gets up off the ground, Survivor pushed off the wrong side. Timer taken down. Things are looking grim. Singularity knowing they don't even need to go for a hit. They just need to wait out the timer and body block the best of their ability. And we see the tap go out the X gate. Ace trying to join there after. No, it does not. The only survivor leaving here is, in fact, the tap.
Tap, yep. Just,
All right, and we are back, and I'm not sure if Oni has screen sharing, but it does not appear to be, so we'll actually be able to see what the killer is doing here today on the Dead Dog Saloon. And it looks like you're gonna be going into the saloon for a quick sarsaparilla and maybe a sip of survivor blood, but they will not be pursuing the survivor up to the top floor. Instead, it's gonna make their way over towards the water wheel.
yeah, it looks like they didn't want the top shelf. Oh.
But instead, find a survivor here at the T-wall. It would seem a bamboozle in play. Going to be making things a little bit more difficult here for the Ace, it would seem. That being said, they will get to this pallet in time. The Oni trying to get a bit of bloodlust here to get the hit, but will not be able to make it happen before the Ace will make their way back to the LT wall.
That's true. I mean, they did play it well enough too that bamboozle did go away for a second. But it is gonna have to be that moment where they might have to break that pallet or still play around with it. Nope, never mind. Ace is going away from that, so.
Yeah, which is
Fair enough.
something to keep in mind for later, right? Because that pallet will be there later, as I doubt Oni will be going back there anytime soon. That being said, Ace making way back into these jungle gyms here. Oni with the mind game and the bloodlust one once again. but looks like A is going to be making a lot of distance here, and looks like they will make it to the pallet, but just barely.
Just barely enough, but able to play that mind game to back off. Ooh. But didn't cut it close for that.
Yeah, just a little bit of flashlight coming in from the Dwight. The first flashlight save of the day. Abe double blind to add insult to injury. And looks like the Oni here gets the Dwight at a little bit of an interesting position. That pallet not exactly the safest in the world, especially when vaulting. That being said, looks like Oni going to be going for the Dwight here. And as they are going to see the first gen popping off here in the distance, they will take stun there at the pallet. 2 gens popping off here for Aeternum survivors. They're doing a fantastic job here, and looks like going to be dropping chase, maybe going for one of these healthy survivors.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's like, okay, now it's definitely time to get someone else with it. Dwight just came in clutch with that save.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, Grizzly's one of the biggest skills that a killer can ever have is knowing when to drop chase, when to give up and apply pressure elsewhere. That's exactly what he's doing here. Trying to go for that flick. Will hit the window, but just not fast enough on the turn in order to get the down on the tap, as we'll see 2 heat survivors and a bit of mind game there for Oni, resulting in a down.
Yeah. 2 gens done. Now trying to figure out what hook to get hooked on, I guess. I mean, at least he's going closer to the gens that need to be done on it, to kind of just know where they're at.
Yeah, absolutely. And this will help out just a little bit, as that was, in fact, a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, which did impress that gen by 25%. That being said, Dwight going to be getting out of dodge with a sprint burst, it would seem. And Oni not going to pursue there, as it would not exactly be the most advantageous decision of their life.
Yeah, it would, but does. They did take off the. What do you call it?
Got him off the hook, so now it's just trying to see who it was and go from there to get a little bit of another kill and stuff.
Yeah, but looks like instead Oni gonna be going the long way around the main building, trying to get a little bit of mind game here on the survivor, but looks like they did leave a little bit early. Oni though in hot pursuit, and there's the head-on play and a firecracker to add insult to injury once again. These fires really rubbing salt in the wound of this Oni, and looks like they are going to try and go for the down. Will successfully get the one out the window and the down right next to the piano there, and we will see a eruption take effect. That'll be 10% off that generator and reveal the auras of those survivors for a short little bit of time.
Yeah, looks like no one was working on it, so that was a good. Who were working on it then?
Yeah, but I will mention Oni's power a little bit lacking right now, as they are about 1/3 of the way before being able to use their power once again. They're definitely going to need to find a blood bank here soon if they are hoping to do much of anything other than get a M1 down.
Yeah. Looks like the survivors are up on the 2nd floor right now, but he is keeping an eye on down there just to make sure no one's down there.
Yeah, they did find the Atom as we heard that chase music start up, and they will get here on the gen, putting their power once again at find that blood bank. The question is, will they go for the denial on the ace? No, looks like they're going to go for the tap. That's a bit of an unfortunate position. Will take that down. A double eruption to off the gens collectively. And as they have not been hooked here, it looks like it's going to be another 25% with another Scourge Hook Pain Resonance.
3 tokens now for that. I mean, that's good, because now they've done, what, 2 gens? Got 3 left to go.
Yeah, honestly, really good time to end up using these tokens. We do see what looks to be the Atom here underneath the gallows. Oni gonna be making the way over towards this dead zone. No gens, no nothing. Additional sets of scratch marks further in towards the corner. Oni though going to be ignoring them, it would seem. And will actually grab the power, looking like they might be going back for the unhook potentially.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to see that there's that 1 gen by itself.
Kind of pressure them to get that down, maybe? That would be the move.
Yeah.
So they don't get that, like, spread and they don't have to patrol that far away from each other, but we'll see what he has up to do with that one.
I mean, survivors right now are just going to have to be working on gens exactly as they are doing, as they can't go over this unknown cleanly, as Oni does have their power in hand. So it is looking like Tap will be progressing to second stage here unless a wild survivor comes in last moment, but looking like that will not be the case. Tap now one hook away from being sent back to campfire via the entity.
Yeah, I mean, that's right here where he is close. It's kind of like a gen spread. Oh. And that was running in.
That looks to be the Dwight with that sprint burst. Tap trying to go for the body block. Will successfully get it with that BT, but BT only lasts so long. Dwight also here as well. Only going to go for the flick, and the Dwight going to be dodging it ever so slightly. We do see the Tap there trying to get a heal. Will not successfully do so. And once again, another eruption, 10% off the gens. It looks like a missed skill check as well off in distance. Another 10% though, a little bit more accidental, less purposeful by the hands of those.
I don't know what Tap just went back to campfire.
Just trying to see now. Okay, that gen. Okay, yep, that's the one that they work. So now they do kind of have like a regen
Set up there, but it is on the second floor, so it does kind of make them a little bit harder for them having to go back to control that one.
Yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, if it was a nurse or a killer with the ability to like gain verticality very easily, that'd be one thing, but an Oni having to travel up and down the floors of the saloon is a little bit rough on them. And so while they do have kind of a pseudo 3-gen, it's going to be very rough for them to maintain this, especially as they don't have line of sight, or at least not great line of sight on that gen. We do see a survivor sneaking past that window.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's going to be beneficial just breaking down those walls to kind of get down quicker, but...
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, oh, looks like they did find at least 2 of the survivors on there, just trying to figure out where the other one's been hiding at.
And Oni here, Bamboozle finding the Dwight right there. You want to know, Eruption actually going to be a very useful perk here, as it will be able to press things so far. Dwight going to fake that pallet drop. Oni falling for the bait, but Dwight only has so long before the Oni is able to get the down here. Oni, once again, going to go for a fake, but Dwight going to call it, and looks like Oni going to be forced for the break. And another flashlight blind. The Dwight just very daring, and Oni panicking a little bit as they see the survivor up there on the saloon gen, and sure enough, there is the 5th gen completed. Exit gates now powered 20 seconds away from being opened by these survivors.
Yeah, and just losing that Dwight too did not help at all in this case now.
No, Dwight absolutely just playing the part of a ghost and disappearing. Would have been a fantastic down for the Oni, as Dwight is fresh. That being said, looks like they're going to have to be satisfied with the chase with the Atom. However, I got a feeling that survivors are going to be in tow soon for some body blocks, as Atom making the way over towards the exit gate here. Dwight, the mortal enemy of this Oni, going to be coming in for the body blocks as well. I think 99 their sprint burst, and Oni realizing that it is all but over, as this is going to be a 3-man escape.
That was a good try though for
All right, and we are back for what could be the final trial of this match. Or will Aeternum's Mastermind walk away victorious here in set number 2, trial number 4, as right now they're looking for a 1K 6 hook in order to walk away victorious and force a set number 3. Timmy, what do you think? Will it be possible?
I kind of want to say yes, but then, you know, with it being a Dead Dog Saloon, it could kind of go either way, depending on how the survivors played out.
Yeah, that is very true. That being said, we do see Tap now in chase, and looks like we do see them making their way over towards the throttle wheel. Mastermind in hot pursuit. Tap trying not to trip over the stairs, as we will see that drop, and the lab photo coming out into play as they do break that balance.
Yeah, that lab photo made really good. Just that pallet break instead of having to slide over that. 'Cause I've done that mistake. When I forget that I don't have it, I just slide over that.
That is fair. That is fair. And yeah, it's one of those interesting add-ons that just so polarizing to the community. Some masterminds just swear by it. Others just say no. It's just not worth the add-on slot where you could be using the crank instead. But that being said, Tap did a fantastic job of managing the mastermind here for the drop. A very daring one at that, but will get the smash hit and a little bit of extra distance, as we will see that first gen pop off in the distance there.
Nice. I haven't seen Smash Hit in a long time. It's one of those perks that are rarely even used, but when it comes into play, it's really good to get that distance.
Yeah, absolutely. Tap did a fantastic job also with the mind game. Once again, gonna get the pallet drop. Not gonna get the stun this time, but still, nonetheless, some impressive work on a very lengthy chase. Mastermind trying to go for the dash, but once again, gonna barely miss it.
This Tab just exactly knows how to work those pallets with it.
Yeah, absolutely, but Mastermind gonna be going for the dash. Will get it this time, and there's the down in the shack. Looks like that will be the first survivor on the hook, and Mastermind gonna do a little bit of home remodeling before doing so. I've received 2 survivors on gens right now. Things looking to be a little bit of a interesting position for Mastermind. And we'll see first up here, potentially a Surge Hook main residence. We'll have to wait and see if that is the case. That being said, Deja Vu going to be seen here on Plata, as they are going to get a little bit of extra progression. However, Mastermind pushing them off ever so slightly.
Yeah, just that quick off. Oh no, I thought they went back to that.
I was thinking that too, so I'm really surprised. That being said, looks like we did see a Pop Goes Weasel up there on the saloon, and Claudette now in chase, however. So let's switch over to them, as they will get a balanced landing, it would seem, in them just a little bit of extra distance.
Yeah, now I'm trying to, second floor on those backside. I was like, how'd you get a balanced landing? Everything's kind of...
Yeah. One of those little things. Mastermind going for the dash, the grab, and looks like we see the snap here for the
You're merely
stun.
postponing the inevitable.
Talk about a coordinated effort to like get down at the pallet, and Tap just standing there staring the Mastermind down like, That was an amazing play by the survivors.
Yeah, it was that, like, they locked eyes, and it's like, you know what's gonna happen. And they're like, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those demoralizing moments as a killer, like, well, you know, it is what it is. That being said, looks like Jake at least wasn't chased for a moment. We did see Bill on that gen looking to potentially complete this 4th generator. Survivors playing absolutely out of their minds. 1 gen here, now 50%, 2 survivors on it. X8's going to be powered soon. Looks like Tap will get hit there. And do want to note that this will be their second hook. One away from the Inside Campfire via the Entity. That being said, Claudia in a bit of a dire situation, as they do need to get cleansed, lest they do stick with this 8% movement penalty. On top of that, need to keep in mind that they cannot afford 2 kills here. They do need to ensure that they do get pretty much 3 out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, I think she should have found something just herself to get that cleanse, because that is delaying the inevitable right now with the... They've been doing so good with the gens.
They really have been. Looks like Bill now in chase here with Mastermind. Mastermind trying to catch up quickly. Bill will whip the insta throw, make their way over towards the water wheel, dragging away from that generator. Mastermind has to know it too. I imagine they're going back, and yeah, sure enough, there it is. Let's flip on back, see where they are on these gens, and looks like they're going to be leaving just a little bit early, as Jake now going to be in chase. A firecracker going off, but looks like Mastermind has broken chase once again to protect these gens, and yeah, sure enough, there's the Claudette. There is the Tap. I imagine we're going to see it down there, and sure enough, there's the down on the Tap. They're one away from the inside of the campfire via the Entity, but Mastermind going to be going for the Claudette instead, it looks like, or even more likely going for that gen. Yeah,
that's
there's
what it
Jake.
looks like. He knows what's at stake, and yeah, he needs to put that pressure on it. Just to at least regress that gen a little bit more than what it's already at right now.
Yeah, but survivors do get that pickup. Mastermind going into main building. building, missing a Jake at the door. Looks like Claudette going to be upstairs once again with that move speed penalty. That's my Nona 2 is going to be going for them. Even if they kill the Claudette here, I do want to note.
Playtime. It's
Do
over.
you want to note that they still would need to get an additional hook thereafter in order to claim victory? And Claudette here is going to be potentially a Scourge of Pain resin for resin that most progressed gen by 25%.
Is that all you have?
The only thing is that there's 2 gens that actually have a lot of progression, and I don't think the Mastermind knows that. I think they think that it's only applying pressure to that one gen.
I think you are right, but that being said, we do see an adrenaline popping off. Exit gates now power 20 seconds before these fires are able to exit via them. That being said, they need to get just about 3 hooks, I think. It's going to be a close one. It might need just a little bit more as they do get the bill at the end of their dash.
You know what that is. You just never know if that really was supposed to grab or not.
Yeah, honestly, that was just barely there. That being said, Bill gets hooked. It's going to be really close here. Survivors putting up, setting up for inoculations, it looks like. Maybe not trying to exit right away. That being said, looking at the points, if Bill progresses here at all, that there will be a win for the Mastermind. If they're able to get them out and set up for a exit plan, that's a different story. So kind of a reverse scenario here of set number 1.
Yeah, now let's just hope it's not all or nothing like it.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. That being said, we don't see any heals on the tab for Claudette. It sounds like they're getting some inoculations in, but time is ticking down. So looking like we might see a progression here on the bill in the basement. Yeah, all 3 here. Things are looking grim. And looking like, at the very least, a potential tie set.
I feel like they were looking at something, trying to search something on the ground, like totem-wise.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about, but we'll have to wait and see. We see the Claudette going towards the shack now. Looks like they're setting up for a potential save here. Mastermind just standing at the top of the stairs, though. And looks like we see the Jake and the tap coming in. Mastermind just going to hold the stairs here to the best of their ability. Surprise getting past, but a no-ed coming in, folks. And this is the sheep to the slaughter as 2 survivors, soon to be 3, potentially 4, gonna be going down. Bill going, what do I do here?
Bill.
Bill just trying to make a last-minute escape, but looking like this 1K has turned into a 4K with a surprise no-ed. Bill will get healed from the renewal for what it's worth, but will not mean much here as they are going to be soon hindered, and they are currently exposed from the no-ed. And yeah, there's the totem right there, Shaq, by the way.
Performance indeed.
I wonder if one of them saw it last one and went, oh no. But with that being said, looking like that there is going to be the 3K here. Claudia going to be put on hook for the second time. Potentially, if not most certainly, going to be progressing to death in just one moment. That they're going to be the tap, going to be put on hook for the final time, and looking like we are going to get a little bit of a basement tree. It's not something that we see all too often here.
Yeah, right in time for the holidays, too.
Exactly. You know, Thanksgiving just ended here in the U.S. It's pretty much guaranteed that, you know, all the Christmas decorations, including your traditional basement trees, will come into play. That being said, we are now just waiting on this last survivor, Jake, who do want to know, but do not know where they are. So let's take a look real quick. But Mastermind sure does, as we see the hatch open not too far away. and that there will in fact be that true 4K for Aeternum here in that meaning that they are going to walk away victorious, forcing a set 3. We're going to be seeing Xenomorph versus Calamity's Mastermind on the Azerov's resting place. So that should definitely be very exciting. But before we get set up for that match, we are going to go on a quick break. All right, and we are back for set number 3, trial number 5, Aeternum as a Xenomorph, killing against Calamity's Survivor team on the Azerov's resting place, and Adam getting a little bit of a spook there. Actually, Tap getting even more so as they have been tagged by the Xenomorph almost immediately.
And dropping that pallet sure enough to just get that distance, but Xenomorph still spooks me regardless of knowing that they call out of those things.
Understandably so. And looks like we do have some turrets set up to try and grab the Xenomorph out of their power. However, even if it has dropped, getting hit through the window. Xenomorph definitely on point, even able to take out the turret before they get stunned.
Yeah, and that's some great play right there for Xenomorph, because I cannot do that. I always end up breaking into the second back to the
Yeah, it definitely is quite impressive to say the least. That being said, looks like Jake going to be going for the unhook there, though maybe getting a little bit interrupted about 1/3 of the way through this gen, but looks like Xenomorph once again expertly taking out those turrets with their tail. They'll put in a lot of hours there for the amount of accuracy that they have available to them. That being said, Jake can be pushed off this gen here, and that there, friends, is going to be a pop goes the weasel.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I heard him scream earlier too, thinking that they're probably also.
Yeah, it was in fact a Scourge Hook. We did reveal it to the viewers, but did not make much mention of it here. But that also did regress the most progressed gen by 25%. Looking like the survivors here are potentially going to be letting the survivor progress to second stage. We'll have to wait and see, as all 3 right now on gen, Xenomorph nearby, and that will be Detective Tap 1 stage away from being sent back to campfire via the entity.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Xenomorph is probably just within the area too, so they just thought, let's just do some of the gens before we even push through. Gives them that little leeway.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We do see the Atom jumping off their gen, potentially trying to go for the unhook, but Xenomorph just holding still here on the top of their hill. And now next to the gen that Atom was working on as well. Looks like they'll probably going to be coming in for the unhook here, as Atom a bit tied up at the moment.
Yep, and it looks like they just got off of their hill to coming in for the unside.
Yeah, really well played there by the Xenomorph as well, getting that mingle status effect applied to Bill. And actually, there's still screams here, and I wanted to see the Xenomorph and what they're able to do with their tails. So I'm going to watch one chase here. We're going to brave the screen cheering for just one moment, because this Xenomorph has been on point. You can see that kind of tilt up, trying to set up for that fishing hook like attack, and yeah, just really well played by the Xenomorph, really showing how much time they put into this killer, as Jake will take another hit there of that tail. I don't think the Xenomorph has even M1 a single killer, or single survivor.
Survivor, yeah. I don't think so. It's just, once you've learned how to work that tail, that's all you gotta do now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that being said, it looks like 3 gens popping off here for survivors. So not going down without a fight, about 1 gen per 1 hook of survivor. That being said, now a 3v1 scenario with 2 gens remaining and a plenty of Scourge Hook tokens left. Also waiting to see if these survivors are up to the task.
Yeah, that's the only sad note. It's like, you may have gone in those 3 gens, but then again, only 1 token was utilized, so it's still... Ooh, a killer blind with that flashbang. Let's go.
Yeah, no, great job and great use of that firecracker. However, Xenomorph not going to be deterred. Looks like they have not been knocked out of the power either. Trying to get around that turret there, get in a line of sight before breaking it. The The Xenomorph doing, once again, another great job of just managing their power as well, focusing down these turrets when possible. You know, to be honest, I still haven't learned all the ins and outs of playing against the Xenomorph, outside the basics, of course. But these survivors seemingly putting the turrets up in good positions, but not able to get any
Yeah, and ooh, just trying to avoid that tail is not in their favor right now. They've been kind of looking like they've actually been helping the Xenomorph get that hit.
Yeah, they're trying to duck underneath of it as if the Xenomorph is aiming a bit further up, but I think what they're doing is they're kind of using that fishing line technique where they aim up and drag down, very much similar to how you can drag the hitbox of the Nemesis Tentacle, but Xenomorph just being on point. And looks like Turret just unable to get the burn there in order to knock the Xenomorph out of their power and giving these survivors just a little bit of breathing room.
No screens, thankfully, so looks like they were able to get off of it before they could even start utilizing, or it wasn't a scorch hook.
Yeah, it's very possible, but that being said, survivors should be concerned because if it wasn't Scourge Trick, it means that there's more in store later. Xenomorph nearby and actually may have been stunned out of their power there in exchange of that Pop Goes Weasel. We do see that unhook there on the Atom. Looks like Xenomorph may have left and gone down into the tunnels. Let's take a look and see if they are back up by Jake and Adam, but no terror radius as of yet.
Probably like a good soft reset would help. But I think they're trying to get some distance away.
Yeah, they're just kind of taking their time there, especially with that mangled Stasvect wanting to, you know, take their time just a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that was with the add-on, correct, that they had?
Yes, yeah, Kane's helmet definitely put in a lot of work, to say the least.
I think that's the main point, that they think they were trying to use that add-on with only the tail to get that benefit.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense if you have that on to make it work, and there's the first step one of the match. The Xenomorph not wanting to risk it there, as they will end up getting the down on the bill. I believe that will be the first hit there, and potentially a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance incoming for the survivors, as their gens will slowly but surely be regressing and not going for the heal on the Atom. Interesting.
That is interesting. Just trying to maybe bait it out with the Jake.
Maybe, yeah. That is the only thought that I can think of.
Yeah. Just imagine what the comms are going through with that, trying to decide who's going in.
Yeah, especially as the Xenomorph just in a really favorable position. They have really good map pressure. They have some decent, if not the best, regression perks in the game at their disposal. Able to use it from point A to point B very easily. Looks like they're trying to complete this gen here, and potentially, once again, going to allow for a progression to second stage here for the Bill.
Yeah, and I don't think they have enough time. Well, they will to heal, kind of, but...
They have time to heal, but definitely not time to go for the Bill. However, they are going to make their way over towards the main building nonetheless. Looks like Xenomorph just kind of camping out nearby the Bill. Maybe why Inspires kind of took a change of plans. Still no terror radius, so I wonder if the Xenomorph is hiding down in the tunnels. Nope, they're just kind of hanging out, and looks like they are now in chase with the Jake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, first dodge here for survivors, but Xenomorph going to be dropping chase instead. Probably going to go for the tunnel out here on the Bill, I'd imagine. Sure enough, there's Xenomorph in hot pursuit.
Ooh. Yeah, you could kind of see when the tail kind of goes up.
Yeah. It's one of those little things that you kind of start to pay attention to, and when people are like, well, why did that hit? Why did that miss? And just really finite detail. And once again, always have to keep in mind, as we saw there, the survivor's hitbox always lags behind the model when running. And so aiming behind a survivor, especially at tiles like that, sometimes can be your best option. But looks like we will see the survivors here working on this gen about 73%. And looks like Adam getting a little bit turned around as the Xenomorph will progresses that gen by 30% of its current progression.
Oh, he could have just gone away with that if he didn't.
Yeah, really unfortunate. The Jake thinking that they got seen. Mark just not seeing them right away. A light able to get them towards the shack side for what it's worth. But that being said, Xenomorph is going to be sticking with this chase. Not worried at all about the down survivor on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, don't have. Was it Unbreakable one play for it?
No, unfortunately, no Unbreakable here available for these survivors, and looks like Xenomorph once again trying to get the hit here. Turk going to be going off here, but will get destroyed rather swiftly, and looks like Xenomorph not losing the Jake. Instead, going to see that pre-drop there. Aqua's going to break instead. Going to get tail. Going to see a miss though. Jake expertly dodging the Xenomorph here in the late game.
That's just. I really thought that was gonna hit.
Yeah, you need both there, but Xenomorph going to take their time here at the Jungle Gym. Jake, if they're able to get enough distance, might just be able to get a pickup here, potentially putting this team back in the running. Our Xenomorph going to be walking into the one here, and that there is going to be, I think, the final chase of this match, unless the Jake and or the Adam here are able to go off. But that being said, Adam not too far away, Xenomorph right on top of him, and that there will be the 4K at 4 gens completed for Aeternum. So really well played by both sides. That being said, we are going to get set up for the next lobby in just one moment. Calamity's Mastermind against Aeternum Survivor Team, and they are going to need to get a 4K at 3 gens or less in order to secure victory. Because if we're looking at a true tie condition, it does look like Aeternum will be just a little bit ahead in overall points. And we do see a tie in set number 3. And that Calamity cannot afford a tie at a 4K at 4 gens. Instead, really going to have the pressure on them for a 4K at 3 gens or less. But I'm excited for it. Hopefully y'all are too. You think it's possible, Teddy?
One could hope.
We'll have to wait and see. That being said, we are going to go on a quick break. All right. And we are back for the final trial of this match. And Calamity definitely has some work cut out for them, as they are going to need to get a 4K at 3 gens or less against Aeternum Survivor Team as the Mastermind. And you're saying, Temmie, that you think it's a possibility?
I mean, I'm saying yes, but now I just feel like I'm gonna jinx them.
You know, it is the caster's curse. It is the caster's curse. That being said, Mastermind, we saw them there in the middle. I could have sworn they would have seen the survivor there, and it looks like they might have. And sure enough, there is the dash and the quick hit on the Nia.
Just running into that main area with, of course, where the corrupt intervention in place. I mean, that's a good play area to be running around with it. Get that power drop in there.
Yeah, they do get the pallet drop, but that lab photo coming in and going to break that pallet, looking for a little bit of mind game there. Mastermind going to call the vault, but not the light, as the light will get them just a little bit of extra distance.
Yeah, that's just... I keep forgetting that that's a good gameplay right there. Just getting off on that hill and just jumping off. He's just hoping that that stagger does not slow you down as much. Get a hit.
Yeah, that the instant vault definitely works out well, to say the least. But we want to note, though, that mobile gen's about to be completed here. Looking like 2, as Nia will end up going down. That being said,
I'll see you
gen
dead.
popping off. Looks like it was 2 people on one. Initially, I was looking at it going, is it 2 separate survivors on 2 separate gens? But no, it was just 2 survivors on 1 gen, killing that first one. Nia going down in the basement. Looked like Mastermind was looking for some other gens, but just unable to find the right hook. That being said, looks like Adam about 75% through their gen. Tap trying to get some work on theirs, but maybe a little bit too close to the Mastermind, as that tier race does approach rather quickly.
Yeah, that radius itself is just big enough to can't kind of pinpoint where it's going, or if it is going towards you, or distant casting.
Yeah, but I think Tap was right to be a bit cautious this time around as Mastermind in hot pursuit right behind the Tap. Still looking like they are not going to chase any further as second gen now completed. And we will see the unhook there for the Nia in the basement.
Yeah, now it's just hoping to hold on into those the 3-gen, which 3-gen's left, but I don't think that's going to work out. Considering they've gotten so much progress on 2.
Yeah, absolutely. But Nia going to be beating the Mastermind a little bit here with that lab photo. Looks like they are going to get a head-on play there and a firecracker once again to add insult to injury. Though Mastermind, I imagine, could be undeterred here, but no, I think they may have lost the Nia.
Yeah, they did. Oh, and they're both working on that other gun.
Yeah, looks like it's the Ace now in chase. And looks like they will not take a hit there at the window. I'm not sure. I really wish I was watching a little bit sooner, but it looks like the grab may have been like at the tail end and just barely avoided taking that hit. That being said, Mastermind in a bit of an unfortunate position here as 3-gens now completed. This is the win condition. They need to get the 4K here and now, lest they will watch as victory slips through their fingers. That being said, they're going to take the hit here, going to make their way over towards the main building. We do see that inoculation on the Nia, so they're no longer injured, and Mastermind dashing just a little bit past the Ace there.
Yeah. I was wondering, I was like, wait, you kind of missed it by a little bit.
Just
the only
a
thing is,
little.
You disappoint me. Is that the best?
Yeah, there's a double mind game there by both sides. We will see the attempted dash there on the Nia, trying to get that hit there instead of going for the M1 through the window. But looks like here's the pickup. There's the flashlight save though, but looks like it may have been just a little early.
it good setup.
It was. Do you want to note though, as this was the first hook on a non-basement hook, very likely a Scourge hook main resonance repressing most progression by 25%. That being said, they're going to need to get this down and need to get it quick, but Nia going to go for a potential 1-for-1 exchange as Mastermind is just unable to get the down right away, but will get the down for the exchange nonetheless. But Nia was something basement, which means if this was a Scourge hook, this will get back-to-back Scourge hooks.
Back to back.
And based on the progress, yeah, as I was about to say, based on the progress of the gen, doesn't look like too much progression. Not sure where the Aeternum is, but we do see a Pop Goes Weasel here coming from the Mastermind, progressing by 25 or 30% of its current progression. And looks like Aeternum is now chasing over here by the Shack, having taken a bounce landing from the hill there, getting just a little bit of distance.
That was a good mind game right there.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately though for the Mastermind, mind games cannot slow down gens as easily as they can be performed, and that their ability to fourth gen completed means that Aeternum will walk away victorious here in set number 3. At this point in time, the team's now playing for their honor and the glory of their team name, and Mastermind not going to be given up just yet.
Not just yet. I mean, that was some good gameplay with it. It was most of the chase at the beginning was with Nia, and that's how they were able to tackle down everything else.
Overall, well played by both sides. GG well played, and looks like Mastermind, just barely missing the ace there as using that tree as cover. You do see that inoculation from the Nia, imagine, over by main side, and I think Mastermind making the way over as we speak, as Ace will be able to get this unhook here.
But what is he waiting for?
I'm waiting for them to engage in chase. We didn't see the chase markers pop up, but maybe just making sure that the Mastermind wasn't going to immediately come back for the tunnel out. But that being said, looks like they are content with the situation and potentially going to go for a heal here in front of Shaq, but looks like Nia is in chase here.
Right. See how far she gets, considering wondering if this is her last.
Yeah, best of the situation. Will end up getting the reverse pallet stun out of nowhere. Really surprised that was not a hit, but working out in the survivor's favor as Mastermind will end up taking that hit and will break the pallet here, making the bus just a little bit weaker. Avernia holding the corner here for the vault. Will supposed to be getting without taking a hit and going back for another vault here. Very daring to say the least, especially as Mastermind primes their dash, just barely missing it. Not even an M1 able to happen here at the window. One more vault and then he will block, but a full vault there from the Mastermind will result in a hit on the Mia.
Yeah, I'm just still stunned by that whole palette.
Playtime is over.
Yeah, definitely a weird one. And it's one of those things where, like, reverse concepts were moved from the game at some point, but they got reintroduced to it again later as well. Tap dropping the pallet for a bit of distraction, maybe? Or trying
Is that all you have?
set up? I don't know. I'm a bit confused by that one. Because, like, Tap doesn't have life. We've seen life used. There's the 5th generator, so yeah, I guess just a bit of distraction keeping the Mastermind here over on the main side as the X gates are being powered as Tap will take the down here. First up for them as well. The potential of 6 points in favor of Calamity, though I imagine Aeternum's fire team will be going through the X gates and not exactly minding the 2-man out.
Yeah.
That EGC has begun. Adam doing a few practice vaults here at the shack just to, you know, loosen
Getting
up after a long day of trials.
Just trying to see if they could just fast vault instead of the medium vault so much.
Yeah, exactly. But looks like Tap will progress to death, and we are going to see that Adam and Ace do a bit of exchange of items here on their way out, as that will be a 2-man out, a 2K for the Mastermind and Calamity. So GG, well played both teams. Congratulations to Aeternum walking away victorious here in set number 3. That being said, folks, we are not going to have to wait long as we are going to get set up for the next match here.